Ready to level up? Chumba Casino is your playbook to fun. It's free to play with no purchase necessary. Enjoy hundreds of online social games like blackjack, slots, and solitaire anytime, anywhere with fresh releases every week. Whether you're at home or on the go, let Chumba Casino bring the excitement to you. Plus, get free daily login bonuses and a free welcome bonus. Join now for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Play Chumba Casino today. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. T&Cs apply.
The Waddle and Sylvie audio experience.
What are those guys' names?
Siegfried and Roy. One of them's gone.
They both died.
Are they both done?
Yes, sir. That's another name or names. When you're younger, you always got it mixed up when you heard it.
Siegfried and Roy.
I thought there were three of them. I thought there was Sig. I thought there was Fried. And I thought there was Roy. I'm like, where's the third dude?
Oh, I just got cramp.
It's
got a laughing cramp.
If you missed something, get the podcast on the ESPN Chicago app.
Or listen live daily 2:30 to 6:30. ESPN Chicago.
This is ESPN Chicago, WNVP, WTBC, HD2 Chicago, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Coming up on SportsCenter all night. The Brewers look to stretch their winning streak to a dozen.
Infield at double play depth behind the Miz. One out. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss.
What's the latest between Micah Parsons and the Cowboys?
If they don't want me here, they don't want me here. I go about my business. I understand the nature of the business. As long as I'm here and under contract, I'm going to do what I have to do to perform at the highest level. But if this is the end, this is the end.
Big Ten Media Day features several interesting storylines.
I think the guys have a certain mindset. So, you know, they know what is expected in our culture. And so, yeah, I mean, you know, those guys don't want to hear about last season.
Plus, the second half of the WNBA season tips off.
Crowd off the steal. Ionescu. You bet.
From the worldwide headquarters of ESPN, this is SportsCenter all night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Now, here's Judson Richards.
SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80, just the way Jerry Jones likes it. All eyes and ears are on the Cowboys training camp as it was Micah Parsons' turn to talk. And the latest on those who decided not to show up to training camp. Plus, could the team from Milwaukee remain the hottest in all of baseball? That's all coming up on this edition of SportsCenter All Night. We will begin with the Brewers, not just the hottest team in baseball, but with that 11-game win streak, but also boasting the best record in Major League Baseball from the start of Tuesday at 60-40 on the year. And Brewers phenom Jacob Misiorowski making just his sixth start. The young all-star with a 2.81 ERA. Facing the Mariners in Seattle, scoreless in the bottom of the fourth inning. A lot of swings and misses from the M's.
Infield at double play depth behind the Miz. One out. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Kept the fastball out away from Arozarena. It was 100 miles an hour, and just like Raleigh before him, he could not touch it.
Heard on 620 WTMJ, scoreless game until the most powerful bat in 2025 came to the plate.
Here comes the 2-2. Swung on, blasted, lift off right field. This one is going to go. It is out of here. Cal Raleigh, number 39 on the season, and he has given the Mariners the lead with one big swing.
The call on Channel Sports 710 a.m. That was not against Misiorowski, who came out much earlier in the game. More on that in just a moment. But that is your league leader with 39 home runs. I saw this stat from the great Sarah Langs. Raleigh's 39 home runs ties Mickey Mantle's 1961 season for the most home runs by a switch hitter in his team's first 101 games of a season. And the Mariners put the streak to bed.
Munoz, the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, hit on the ground to third. Williamson up with it, throws to second in time, and the Mariners have snapped the Brewers' 11-game winning streak. The hottest team in baseball finally drops the contest. What a run it was for the Brewers, and they'll try to start another winning streak tomorrow afternoon when they go for the series win.
Mariners win it 1-0. Seattle starter Logan Gilbert worked 6 1/3, striking out 10. Obviously did not allow a run. Mizorowski struck out 7, but only went 3 2/3 of an inning, throwing 64 pitches before he was removed from the game. So if the Cubs could win Tuesday, the top of the NL Central would be crowded. At Wrigley Field we go. Cubs hosting the Royals. On the mound for Kansas City was 5-year-old Rich Hill, who became the oldest active player in baseball after his call-up from AAA Omaha in the bottom of the 7th inning. Cubs with the lead and some trickery with runners at first and third.
The runner double steal and scoring on the play. Scoring on the play is Kyle Tucker. I thought it was ball 4, but it was only ball 3. The Cubs were running as if it was a full count. Stealing second is Seiya Suzuki. The throw went down to second, and when it did, Tucker scored from third. Cubs lead 6-0.
Hall of Famer Pat Hughes on the call for 6-7 the score. The Cubs cruised to that final 6-0. Hill allowed 3 runs, 1 earned, 6 hits in 5 innings for the 45-year-old. Now the other lefty, Cubs starter Matthew Boyd, threw 7 shutout innings. His ERA is now at 2.20. That's the second lowest in the National League. Both the Cubs and the Brewers sit at 60 and 41 on the year, sharing the top spot in the NL Central. More baseball now. Toronto Blue Jays leading the AL East by 4 games. The second-place Yankees trying to close the gap. In Toronto, we go in the first. It wasn't scoreless for long.
And the payoff. Deep to right field. Borger back. Turning. Looking. See ya. A big 3-run home run for Jazz Chisholm. And the Yankees lead 3-0.
The call on the Yes Network. Blue Jays wouldn't go away. Knotted at 4 in the 9th.
There's Ben Rice against Hoffman. He was the final batter of yesterday's game. High fly ball, right field and deep. Luke is back on the track. See ya! A huge home run for Ben Rice as the Yankees take a 5-4 lead.
That solo shot would be enough. Yankees pick up a game and pull within 3 in the AL East after that 5-4 win. This is SportsCenter all night on ESPN Radio. ESPN Radio presented by Progressive Insurance. They offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance. Visit progressive.com.
The question now becomes, will we see some sort of hold in? For Jerry Jones, though, he's not concerned about Micah and the contract.
Just because we sign him doesn't mean we're going to have it.
Once again, Jerry Jones wants to let everybody know that his yardstick is bigger than anybody else.
In Oxnard, California, the Dallas Cowboys and new head coach Brian Schottenheimer have begun training camp. All-pro edge rusher Michael Parsons is heading into the final year of his rookie deal and looking for a new deal. Here's Parsons on this, if this could be his last year with a star on his helmet.
You know, for me, it really don't matter. Like I said, I've been pretty consistent. If they don't want me here, they don't want me here. I go about my business. I understand the nature of the business. As long as I'm here and under contract, I'm going to do what I have to do to perform at the highest level. But if this is the end, this is the end. You know, there's same way that Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones and the other Jerry Jones take care of their family, it's the same way I need to take care of my family. You know what I mean? I got my own 3 kids of my own, so we all need to take care of our own family at the end of the day.
Speaking of, Parsons was asked if he'd spoken to Jerry Jones.
No, but I'm gonna talk to him. You know, I just thought, as a whole, like, you know, everyone's situation is differently. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, I'm here for my teammates. You know, I'm not here to please another grown man. I'm here for them. You know, I want to be here with Trey, watch him rehab, watch him get on the field, watch his growth. I want to be here battling with Terrence Steele. Like, I'm here for these guys. I'm not here for him, you know. So I think, you know, at the end of the day, he's on the field with us. You know, we're on the field playing the games and things like that. So I'm going to just control my teammates, keep boosting it, and, you know, we're just going to keep playing together.
Now, plenty of reaction to Cowboys owner Jerry Jones' recent comments. Jones said earlier in the week regarding contract negotiations with Michael Parsons, saying just because we sign him doesn't mean we're going to have him. That's a reference to injury history. So let's discuss on First Take. Kevin Clark of the This Is Football podcast says this is the attention Jones desires.
The football gods came down and said, Jerry, you get to win the next 3 Super Bowls. You get to have the exact same early 90s glory days. Everybody's watching the boys on Sunday. You got the triplets back. Everything is going Jerry's way. But the catch is, you can't do a press conference. You can't talk. You can't go in front of the cameras and make it about Jerry. He looks at the football gods and he says, no deal. And the reason I know this is because he hasn't changed anything. He knows what the flaws in his organization are, and yet he looks at it every year and says, you know what this organization needs? A little more me.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter joined ESPN Radio's Unsportsmanlike and brought up Barnum and Bailey.
It's his show. We're all part of the show. He loves putting on the show. He's one of the great marketers of all time. Like, he's the modern day P.T. Barnum, the NFL version of that. And he loves that. Now, I'm sure he loves cap space, but that's probably secondary to making sure the Cowboys are America's team, selling that franchise, being relevant, being topical, being in the headlines. I think he loves all that.
Now, Parsons isn't alone in looking for a new contract as far as the Cincinnati Bengals and their star pass rusher Trey Hendrickson go. He isn't present for training camp. With more on that, here's ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter on Get Up.
Trey Hendrickson and the Bengals basically had a deal worked out on the 2 years. Like, it's all in place, but it bogged down over guaranteed money. And really, that's unfortunate that you could be that close to an agreement and then not have it finalized because we disagree so strongly on the guaranteed portion of the deal. For weeks, we had heard about T.J. Watt wanting 4 years of guaranteed money, 4 years on his new contract. I'd heard the Pittsburgh Steelers wanted 2 years. In the end, 3. It's not hard to do these things, right? All these guys got 3. The Bengals are at 1. Yeah. Oh, what do we do? Do we do 2? Do we do 3? How do we work this? It's not really that.
I like that. Let me write that down.
Crazy.
What do you call that? Meet in the middle? You like that?
It's called
make a note.
Compromise.
Okay,
which is the theme of any negotiation.
That one sounds smart too. I like that.
Wow. Revolutionary.
Now, ESPN NFL analyst Peter Schrager on the Pat McAfee Show on the impact of the decision by the Bengals this may have by not getting a deal done.
It's brutal because for the entire offseason, the priorities for Cincinnati were Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. And when they got those deals done, they were like, we did it, right, fans? Like, we did it. We finally did it. We broke the bank on 2-star players, and we are good to go. And then this Trey Hendrickson thing has completely taken any of the goodwill away from it. And then the Shamar Stewart thing comes out of left field when you start putting in clauses that you've never done as a team before. And that's taken down the team, and it puts you right back in the same conversation you were in when Carson Palmer was unhappy with his contracts and when those early 2000s teams that were so good had to be dismantled because the team might have bungled the relationships, or this is not viewed as the same way as the New York Yankees or the Dallas Cowboys or some of those premier franchises. That said, Trey Hendrickson, they are not going to do what he wants on his timetable, and they have made that clear.
Now back to the NFC East, also absent from training camp, Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin. Schefter is optimistic about the two sides coming together on this one, as he told the Unsportsmanlike crew yesterday morning.
I think it's going to be addressed here in short order because these things don't linger usually with players as important as Terry McLaurin is to the Washington franchise. The question is, do they get it done today? Do they get it done this week? Is it going to linger into training camp? I'd like to think common sense would dictate that they'll figure out a way to get this done, but it's dragged on all summer, and you heard how frustrated Terry McLaurin was when he spoke out at that press conference last week. Now, this is a franchise that has done everything right under new ownership. This is the first little blip where you say, what's going on here? But again, I think they'll figure it out and find a way to keep Terry McLaurin in Washington. They'll work it out.
Harry Douglas, host of ESPN Radio's Freddie and Harry, says they should probably look out for their only number one.
They're going to need, and I'm capitalizing every letter in need, they're going to need Terry McLaurin. When you look at Jaden Daniels and what he brings to the table as a quarterback going into his second year, what you do not want is your young quarterback going into year 2 to not have his number one option. And this is no slight on anyone in that receiver room, but there's only one person I view as a number one receiver in the Washington Commanders receiver room, and that's Terry McLaurin. They need him to be there.
McLaurin is entering the final year of a 3-year, $68.2 million contract extension he signed with the Commanders back in 2022. Coming up on this edition of SportsCenter All Night, the Dodgers have not been playing the kind of Dodger baseball we've been used to. Could they get back on track on Tuesday night? Also coming up, the conference that boasts the champs got together. We'll take a look at the Big Ten Media Day. That's next. This is SportsCenter All Night on ESPN Radio.
this weekend on ESPN Radio. Two teams in the hunt for October go head-to-head.
Juan Soto ties the game.
The New York Mets are in San Francisco to face the Giants. Coverage begins Saturday at 8:30 Eastern and Sunday at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Presented by Progressive Insurance. More Sports Center all night. Coming up next.
Ready to level up? Chumba Casino is your playbook to fun. It's free to play with no purchase necessary. Enjoy hundreds of online social games like blackjack, slots, and solitaire anytime, anywhere with fresh releases every week. Whether you're at home or on the go, let Chumba Casino bring the excitement to you. Plus, get free daily login bonuses and a free welcome bonus. Join now for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Play Chumba Casino today. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21+. TNCs apply.
The Waddle and Sylvie audio experience.
Everything is blue sky and sunshine. Everything is soft serve ice cream and wine. It's all delicious.
Did you say soft serve ice cream and wine?
Yeah.
Is that a combination?
Ice cream, chillin', ice cream.
Waddle's a bad dessert guy. There's not many things that Waddle's bad at. That's his kryptonite.
Get Waddle and Sylvie podcasts on demand in the ESPN Chicago app or listen weekdays 2:30 to 6:30 ESPN Chicago.
I'm Tom Waddle.
Whatever he's accomplished in life, he's done it because of Tom Waddle. He's done it because of the effort he put into being a football player, for one thing. If you're talking about full-out speed and blazing talent, no. But how do you measure the heart and the will of an individual? And he had that. So if you have the heart and the will, that's going to propel you to do things a lot greater than this guy who has these flexy muscles and stands around and gets his ass kicked when the ball snapped.
Hear Waddle with Sylvie.
Now, weekdays 2:30 to 6:30 on ESPN Chicago.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months, and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at USO.org today. We're with Liam after his 4th military move, when being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays, when she misses home the most. We're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at USO.org today.
If you miss a show
Or an interview.
on ESPN 1000, you can hear it anytime, anywhere through the all-new ESPN Chicago app.
Listening to Sports Center all night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Now, here's Judson Richards.
Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio. We'll get back to a full slate of games around Major League Baseball shortly, but the college football season is knocking at the door. The last team standing last season, Ryan Day and the Ohio State Buckeyes in Las Vegas. Big Ten media happening now. Coach Day was asked how long it took his Buckeyes to move on from winning the national championship.
I think the guys have a certain mindset, so they know what is expected in our culture, and so those guys don't want to hear about last season, and they didn't want to hear about last season a week after we were done with it.
Really?
Yeah, they wanted. I mean, this is their group, this is their journey. This team hasn't done anything, and so I think when they hear things like that, it's motivation for them.
And what a matchup to open the season, Ohio State versus Texas and quarterback Arch Manning.
They have our attention. They have since we got done with last season. We knew this game was
a week after the Natty?
Yeah, pretty much. Like you said, we always have a bullseye on our chest, but now even bigger, and on our backs, and that's it. So We know that this game is is going to be a tough game. We know Manning's really good. We know all the pieces they have because we played them, and we had a lot of respect for them coming out of that game. Went all the way to the wire. So, we've had a great focus throughout the whole offseason, but now in July it's been locked in, and now we need to have a great August.
Also at Big Ten Media Day, Rich Clark, Executive Director of College Football Playoffs. He joined ESPN Radio's Ian Fitzsimmons, a voice you heard a moment ago, and discussed the College Football Playoffs.
The 12-team format went really well last year, and we loved it, and it was great. And there's an idea or a thought that more is better, right? There does come a time or a point where more is too much. I don't think we're there with 16. I think 16 is sort of at the outer limit of how many teams we could actually bring in. If we got any more than that, it'd be hard. You don't have the weekends to play. You start to impact student-athlete health and their education. They still got to go to school, and there's not that many TV windows either. So there's a line, right? And I think they're right in the sweet spot. 12 to 16 is right in there, and we can't go wrong, honestly, with either of those, or even 14.
We are still in a 12-team playoff format, by the way. Illinois head football coach Brett Bielema weighed in.
I'd like to have a little more clean cut. If it's 3 qualifiers, 4 qualifiers, 5 qualifiers, right? But I want to be able to say, in a year when the Big Ten has 6 that need to get in, they can get them in, right? If that's
you got one
again, yeah, that's right. I think that's fair, because I think the world of college football has evolved now that there's going to be more transparency, more even balanced rosters than any time in the history of the game, and you're going to probably see more ups and downs, I would think, a little bit. I mean, teams are going to be good for a long time, but they're going to be, maybe this year they're a 13-win team, this year they're an 8-win team, right? It's just going to be a little bit more fluid than ever before.
Now, Nebraska head football coach Matt Rhule answered questions at the Big Ten Media Day about how he felt about his team as he is heading into year 3 leading the program.
I think finding the guys that have the right talent for you, but also the right mindset for you, that want to be there for the long haul, to financially making a commitment to those guys and keeping them there with you. It's always taken us 3 years because we took over rosters that weren't that good, and we tried to make them better. We took over tough rosters, programs that were down, and have rebuilt it. So this year we did it differently. We added the portal. We were aggressive in the portal. We added some really good players, and so they also had the same mindset that we're looking for. I kind of learned that again last year. Hey, everyone's got to be on the same page. I don't care, professional, whatever. There's all these different parts to it now, but everyone's got to be on the same page on the team if you want the team to win. So I feel really good that we've done that. We're in a good spot.
Nebraska opened the season Thursday night, August 28th against Cincinnati, a game you can watch on ESPN. This is SportsCenter all night on ESPN Radio. Back to baseball we go now. First place Phillies with a half-game lead atop the Mets in the NL East. Philadelphia hosting the Red Sox. Simple math says the more home runs, the more runs you score.
Fitz from the windup and the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, and that one is hit well. Right field, Anthony's going back. He's looking up, and that ball is gone. The 11th of the year for Max Kepler. He turns on that, and the Phillies now lead it 3-0. The windup and the 3-1 pitch to Schwarber. Hit in the air, center field. Going back on it is Rafaela. He's at the track. He's looking up, and he's out of room. That one's gone. Number 33 on the year for Kyle Schwarber into the Phillies bullpen. And the Phillies now lead it 4-0.
The call on Sports Radio 94 WIP, Kepler and Schwarber homer, and Phillies starter Christopher Sanchez goes a complete game for the win, allowing just 4 hits and a run. So could the Mets keep pace? Mets hosting the Angels, New York down 2 in the 5th.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a drive to left field. It's pretty well hit. Ward going back onto the track at the wall. It's gone! Francisco Alvarez goes deep, and the Mets have tied the game 2-2.
The call on 880 ESPN New York tied at 2 thanks to Alvarez. They then took the lead thanks to Nimmo.
1-0 to Nimmo. The pitch. Swinging a liner towards left center. Over comes Adele. He won't get it. It's a base hit. Here comes Mauricio around third. He scores standing with a go-ahead run. On at first with an RBI single is Brandon Nimmo. The Mets are leading by a score of 3-2.
Mets remain within a half a game with a 3-2 lead there. They go on to win it, the final of that one. Again, 3-2. The Colorado Rockies would not be stopped on Tuesday.
Here comes that 3-0 pitch. He will swing and hit it deep to left. Going back, Burleson. This one is gone. On a 3-0 pitch, Ryan McMahon, yet another home run. This is a 3-run shot in the third inning. 6-0 Rockies.
They call an 850 KOA. Rockies double up the Cardinals 8-4 to improve to 25-76 on the season. Let's go back, check out that Dodgers game now. NL West leading Dodgers had dropped 7 of their last 10, but holding a 3.5 game lead over the San Diego Padres. Dodgers and the Twins at Chavez Ravine.
Pitch on the way, and Vasquez lines one to left field for a base hit. That'll get Wallner home. Here comes Lewis. He'll stop halfway down the line. A strong throw from Conforto makes that a wise decision. It's an RBI single from Christian Vasquez, a 3 RBI night for the Twins backstop. And Minnesota leads at 6-3.
Dodgers lose again. The call there from Treasure Island Baseball Network. The final in that game, 10-7. Twins beat the Dodgers. In Atlanta now, Giants and the Braves. San Francisco would put it out of reach in the 7th inning.
One strike pitch. Flores swings. Hits a high fly ball down the left field line towards the corner. Profar back at the wall. Looking up. It is gone. Wilmer Flores hits a 3-run home run. And the Giants have broken this one wide open. It is 9-0.
The call on KNBR, Giants in a rout, 9-0, the final there. Now to Miami, Marlins and the Padres. Marlins up by a couple in the 8th.
0-1, that one tagged into left center field. Sheets on the move. He's not going to get there, and it one-hops the wall in left center. There's insurance. Hernandez around third. He will score. Sanohawk going at third, and he's got an RBI triple. He beat out the relay with a head-first dive. Javi, the spark plug, makes it 4-1 Marlins in the bottom of the 8th. He was motoring. I tell you what, he touched third before Hernandez scored. That's how fast he was motoring around those bases.
Heard on 940 wins. Padres fall 4-3. Rays and the White Sox in Tampa. The Rays stop the red-hot Sox on a 4-game win streak. They could. Bottom of the 2nd.
For the infield into Caballero. Swing, looping fly ball, shallow center, dropping fast. It's in there, base hit. Scoring on the play is Mangum. Here comes Theis, and the throw is wild. Goes to the backstop. Caballero still running around second. He'll make it to third. And the Rays take a 3-0 lead.
The call on 620 WDAE. Rays beat the Sox 4-3. This is ESPN Radio.
What's up, kiddos? Clinton Yates here. Coming up on Wednesday, are we seeing a shift with the Lakers and their power dynamic? Plus, we'll wait to see what crazy things Jerry Jones says today. That's Wednesday on Clinton and Friends at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the
Ready to level up? Chumba Casino is your playbook to fun. It's free to play with no purchase necessary. Enjoy hundreds of online social games like blackjack, slots, and solitaire anytime, anywhere with fresh releases every week. Whether you're at home or on the go, let Chumba Casino bring the excitement to you. Plus, get free daily login bonuses and a free welcome bonus. Join now for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Play Chumba Casino today. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21+. TNCs apply.
Cap and J Hood.
It's so good to have you guys a part of my life. And when I tune in every day, even though I don't call in as much as I should, I keep it locked in all the time off here in the snow.
I appreciate you, Curtis. Thank you so much for listening.
This radio station is by far the best radio station.
Get Cap and J Hood podcasts on demand in the ESPN Chicago app or listen weekdays 7 to 10 on ESPN 1000 and 100.3 HD2.
Dive into the Marvel Universe on the official Marvel Podcast. We're going behind the scenes with the creators behind Marvel Comics, the stars of the MCU, and Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige.
But if you want the real answer, if we're trying to get real on this podcast,
celebrate the legacy of your favorite Marvel adventures and characters. The official Marvel Podcast.
I think this show's going to be a real treat.
New episodes every Wednesday wherever you listen to podcasts.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
Who are you talking to? As a business owner putting hard-earned dollars into advertising, that question is everything. So who are you talking to? How about a very loyal fan base of a great Chicago team? Send your message out to White Sox fans all over Chicagoland. The Sox fan is hungry for a new start and ready to support a business that supports their team. So who are you talking to? How about you start with talking to us? Send an email to whitesox@goodkarmabrands.com. That's whitesox@goodkarmabrands.com.
You can't escape a traffic jam. Know what else you can't escape? Seasonal allergies. And you might think you can avoid that coffee stain until... Oh, really? You can't escape a lot of things in life. But you can escape prediabetes. Prediabetes captures 1 in 3 adults. There are usually no signs of prediabetes. In fact, most people don't even know they have it. But with early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Take action by taking the 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. You might not be able to escape having this song stuck in your head. But you can escape prediabetes. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Cap and Jay Hood. Morning 7 to 10 on ESPN 1000. Chicago's home for sports.
Listening to Sports Center all night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Now, here's Judson Richards.
Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio. Back to the drama in Oxnard in a moment. Could the Fever knock off Liberty without their superstar? That is all coming up. But first, here's what's at the top of our minds.
Half-hour headlines on Sports Center all night.
Cal Raleigh silences the Brewers' win streak with his league-leading 39th home run of the season. The Dodgers continue to stumble as the Twins knock them off in Los Angeles. And in the WNBA, the Liberty roll over the Fever without Caitlin Clark. An all-pro edge rusher, Micah Parsons, is at Cowboys training camp at Oxnard and says he's discouraged about their current contract talks as he approached the final year of his rookie deal. But Parsons is present, deciding not to hold out. He spoke to the media and explained why.
At the end of the day, like, I'm just staying in the moment. Like, life's so short. Like, I don't want to give up this time, this place out there, account of someone else. God blessed me to be here. I love representing the Star. Nothing can hold me back from football. You know what I mean? Like, this is genuinely what I love to do. And if anyone questions that, they probably have never been around me. I take everything I do very seriously. So holding out completely, I don't think so. Like I said, I love this game. There's nothing that's going to keep me away from this game.
In a back and forth with reporters, Parsons says he doesn't know what's taking so long.
Are you discouraged by the fact that it's taking this long? Honestly, yeah. When you go around the league and you see these other teams taking care of their best guys, I see TJ got taken care of. Max got taken care of. Miles got taken care of. And he got 2 years left on his deal. So it's hard to, you see a lot of people around the league getting taken care of. You just, wish you had something like, that same type of energy. It's hard to not take it personally. I wouldn't say it's hard not to take it personally when you know how there's a chain of events of something consistently happening over the course of years when you kind of see it before through other players and things. So you don't take you don't take it personally when you're like, all right, it's not like I'm getting treated differently than anyone else, So I don't take it personally. I just don't understand.
ESPN NFL analyst Peter Schrager on the Pat McAfee Show says this is a dangerous game Jerry Jones is playing.
I think he's going to get paid, and I think Jerry intends to pay him. But Jerry Jones, he wants to win the deal, and the art of the deal and the business is almost as entertaining to Jerry as the football itself. So he's not going to be bullied around by an agent who he claimed he didn't know the name of earlier this offseason. He's not going to be bullied around by a player who's very active on a podcast and social media, and he's not going to be bullied around by us in the media. So I think Jerry's having a little fun here, and at the expense, it might be the goodwill of a player who has lived up to expectations, who has done everything you can ask for, and wants to be the face of the Dallas Cowboys. I would think before the start of the season, just like they timed it perfectly with Dak in week 1, we have news just as Jay Glazer's getting on set, or hey, CeeDee Lamb just as we're finishing training camp. I think Jerry likes that splash and Jerry likes to take it to the wire, but at what cost?
Now, Chris Candy, host of ESPN Radio's Unsportsmanlike, says one side of this saga has handled themselves well.
Micah's been masterful in how he's handled this now. Let's be clear about one thing. Micah Parsons, letting it be known, he was willing to sign a contract last year, and he would have taken $37 million last year, puts all the pressure on Jerry Jones. Because right now, the person that looks like the fool is Jerry Jones, not Micah Parsons.
Why?
Because Jerry Jones hasn't gotten a deal done, and here you have a guy that wants a new deal, has wanted it for over a year, and is still showing up for work at training camp when a lot of other individuals in that same situation wouldn't do the same. All the pressure now is on Jerry Jones to get this done. It's all on him. The public opinion, the public sentiment, everybody is lining up behind you if you're Micah Parsons. Don't do anything to change that.
Two other notables, Trey Hendrickson of the Bengals is not there for training camp. Wide receiver Terry McLaurin also not there for training camp with the Washington Commanders. This is SportsCenter All Night on ESPN Radio. Judson Richards along with you. Thanks for joining us. Now to the WNBA. Indiana Fever, New York Liberty. In the Big Apple, Fever star Caitlin Clark was a scratch in this one with that right groin injury she's been dealing with. As for the Liberty, 2024 Finals MVP Jonquel Jones, who has missed time with an ankle injury, was back to work for her first game since June 19th to the fourth quarter. Now, Liberty, we're happy to have Jones back.
Ionescu on the drive, no look, Jones a three, you bet!
What tune is she playing on that guitar right now, Ryan Ruocco?
A sweet return.
The call on ESPN, Liberty began to pull away from there.
Still time for Indiana to make a push, but not with passes like that. Cloud off the steal. Ionescu, you bet!
Liberty beat the Fever without Caitlin Clark, 98-84. Jones, in her return, 18 points, 9 rebounds. She joined ESPN's Holly Rowe after the game.
Well, Jonquel, this is your first game back. This is such an important return for you. You hadn't played since June 19th. How were you able to get in and get so comfortable so quickly with your teammates?
What's up, y'all? Oh, man, it felt great. It felt great to be out there with them. You know, they were finding me, but just a lot of work, a lot of preparation to get back out there in the court, and I think it showed tonight for sure.
We weren't sure how many minutes you were going to go. Sandy Brondello said she wanted to feel her way. How did you feel? You've got the 2 new ankle braces on. How did you feel out there?
I felt great. It felt amazing to be back out there with my teammates, so no complaints.
You end up in a very physical game. You and Aaliyah Boston out there battling. It was so fun to watch. Tell me, how did you fight through the physicality and play some of your very best basketball this season?
Yeah, just understanding that that's what my teammates need from me, and it was a big game, and we were excited to play against them and set the tone for the second half of the season, so that's what we wanted to do.
When the starting 5 has been intact for New York Liberty, they're undefeated this season with you back in the lineup. What does that say to these fans about what could be possible the second half of the season?
We all we got. We all we need.
So the Liberty knock off the Fever. Down to Minnesota we go. Lynx hosting the Chicago Sky. Minnesota running away with this one.
The only way to really get comfortable out on the court is to get those minutes, and that's probably the only positive thing you can say about the injuries that Chicago has faced.
Collier with a three-pointer. Nafisa Collier connects from deep for the first time tonight.
The call on WNBA League Pass. Lynx trounced the Sky 91-68. Atlanta Dream in Las Vegas to deal with the Aces.
Another turnover by Atlanta.
Jackie Young pulls it out, waiting for some help. Asia's always a good option.
Especially from that spot. I mean, that free throw line is money.
That one seen on ESPN. Asia Wilson with the bucket there. Vegas rolls 87-72. Seattle Storm hosting the Dallas Wings. Dallas was flying high in this one.
Becker's three, splash it home, 71-53. Paige Beckers now has 11.
And Dallas has just been able to consistently hit from deep. 8 made threes for the Wings.
Viewed on ESPN3, Wings beat the Storm 87-63. This is SportsCenter all night on ESPN Radio.
SportsCenter, 50 states and 50 days.
We go coast to coast. We going coast to coast
on ESPN Radio.
On Tuesday, ESPN was in the great state of Massachusetts where Molly McGrath took in a Cape Cod League baseball game.
After so much success in the majors and then your coaching career brought you all over the world, why did you decide to come here to the Cape League?
For the players, for the most part, the players, we get the better players, the college kids here, the freshmen and sophomores in the draft eligible juniors. It's a great league. The travel is easy. We get to stay in our own bed every night. I think our longest trip is to Wareham, which is about an hour and 15 minutes away. So great baseball, great weather, and great kids and a great community. There's no reason not to want to come up here.
You mentioned the talent of the players. So many of these guys go on to the majors. How early on do you know that a player has what it takes to make it?
Well, every kid we bring in, we hope that they're, the top-notch kids. Just for example, our 2018 team, we have 12 kids out there. They're in the big leagues right now. So, hopefully this year's team will have as many. Some years better than others, but for the most part, we bring in great kids and great talented kids too.
And throughout your coaching career, you've seen so many different changes in sports and in college sports, especially now with NIL and the transfer portal. How has that added some different challenges to what you do?
We try to just bring pure baseball up here. That we don't worry about the transfer portal. We don't worry about NIL money. We just let the kids come up here and play baseball free and easy and let their talent shine. And I think the kids appreciate that. With all the technology they have back at the schools that they're at, up here is just baseball, and we keep it as simple as we can.
And I mentioned that your career has kind of brought you all over the world: Sweden, Poland, Dubai. How does life on the Cape compare?
It's a great transition. For the 2 months in the summer, I get away from home, the heat back home in Texas, and we'll come up here and spend two months up here, and then maybe 3 weeks over in Europe, and then I'll spend a month over in Dubai coaching in the Baseball United League over there.
Wow, that's amazing. That's probably so different from here, but this is definitely a special place. Like you said, it's just pure baseball here.
Yeah.
What's so special about baseball on the Cape?
Well, I think the community, and especially here in Chatham, it's like a generational type crowd that we get. It really doesn't matter what our record is. We draw great, and parents bring their kids out, and the kids end up growing up, and they'll bring their kids out, and there's grandparents out here. So we have a special place here in Chatham.
You definitely have some incredible fans, and we had fans bringing chairs out and blankets out yesterday. People were here 4 hours before the game started just to get their seats. So this is definitely a special place indeed.
Our next stop for our 50 states in 50 days. By the way, that was Holly McGrath in Massachusetts on Tuesday. But our next stop coming up, the mountainous state of Montana. Now let's check in with the PTI crew where Tony Kornheiser and Pablo Torre discuss the best nicknames in sports.
All right, Pablo, the Honey Badger is retiring, so we ask, what is the best nickname in sports?
So this is a great question, and I have been spending our time together trying to figure out if I can beat the Colossus of Clout, the Sultan of Swat, the Bambino, Babe Ruth, who himself, Babe, is a nickname. And I think I got a couple of contenders. Curious what you think? First off, the Pillsbury Throwboy, the hefty lefty Jared Lorenzen, R.I.P. Two amazing nicknames. Related category, round amount of rebound for your friend Charles Barkley, also good. Right. But I think I'm going Dr. Duncanstein, Tony. I think I'm going Daryl Griffith because he is a member of your tribe as Dr. Duncanstein, And by that, I, of course, mean he is a fake doctor. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah. My problem, and I like Dr. Duncanstein, my problem with that is growing up on Long Island as I did, there's only one doctor. It's Dr. J. Julius Irving. That's all there is. There's no room for another one for me. I've liked some of the team nicknames. Purple People Eaters for the Minnesota Vikings, Steel Curtain, for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not a Yankee fan. I always liked the name Bronx Bombers. I always thought that was fun.
Yeah.
And I like it. It sort of accrues to stars. Like if you are a big star, you have to have a nickname of some sort. I wrote a bunch down. Reggie Jackson was Mr. October. Will Chamberlain, the Big Dipper. Ted Williams was too. He was Teddy Ballgame. He was also the Splendid Splinter. You mentioned Ruth and the Bambino. Broadway Joe Namath, which absolutely fit Joe Namath. I can still see that picture in my mind with the theatrical lights in the background and Joe in the green and white uniform on Broadway. The Galloping Ghost, I like that. Deion Sanders Primetime. That is a great nickname. It described him well. Paul Hornung was the Golden Boy. A small one, a slight one, but perfection is Irvin Magic Johnson. That's absolutely perfection. There are only two great ones right now. There's Fairway Jesus for Tommy Fleetwood in golf, and there's Big Dumper, for Cal Raleigh in baseball. So we need more nicknames.
We do.
If you think back to your youth, and the history of sports, nicknames are a very important thing in sports. And if you don't have one, it sort of diminishes your stature over the course of time.
I agree. And I would continue to talk about this with you, except they're in my ear saying you talked way too long about nicknames, which brings me to my last nickname, which I resemble right now, which of course belongs to Rod Smart. He hate me is what I feel from the producers right now. So that is it. We are done. Back to you.
A shout out to the early days of the XFL. Tony Kornheiser and Pablo Torre there with PTI. Up next, our top sounds and back to the diamond with more highlights around Major League Baseball. Coming up, you're listening to ESPN Radio.
We are on September 2nd moving to ESPN Radio, which is also my roots, I'm proud to say.
The return of Rich Eisen.
To be able to go back to where my career started was something that I never thought possible.
September 2nd, weekdays from noon to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus, and on Disney Plus. More Sports Center all night. Coming up next.
This is a Bears town. We worship great defense. We appreciate frigid temperatures when our 11 are battling their 11 on the lakefront in January. We love a helmet with a chunk of fresh turf lodged in it. This is a Bears town. And we are the new home of the Bears. ESPN Chicago.
If Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea was your best friend, it would be the kind of friend that starts an impromptu dance party in the supermarket aisle that turns into an all-day pool party rager at your place, and you don't even own a pool. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea turns any day into a legendary adventure. It's smooth and refreshing real iced tea with just the right kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Hey, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone now through July 28th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Is a Bears town. We worship great defense. We appreciate frigid temperatures when our 11 are battling their 11 on the lakefront in January. We love a helmet with a chunk of fresh turf lodged in it. This is a Bears town. And we are the new home of the Bears. ESPN Chicago.
Ms. Fernandez, what are those tiny things?
Those are what we call amoebas. You can only see them through a microscope.
Wow.
Today's students are tomorrow's great thinkers and innovators. But right now, there's a funding crisis in public schools. Millions of kids go to schools that don't have funding for books, computers, and so much more just because of where they live. You can help change that. Donors Choose is a nonprofit that lets you support students and teachers in your community and beyond. You choose which supplies to support. You could provide first graders with pencils and paper, or other students with their first chapter books, help a music class get a guitar.
You could even supply a classroom like mine with a science project. But what you're really giving is the moment that sparks a brighter tomorrow.
To learn more, please visit DonorsChoose.org. That's DonorsChoose.org. Choose students. Shape the future.
Chicago's home for sports is in your home through your smart speaker. Just ask Alexa or Google to play ESPN Chicago.
You're listening to Sports Center all night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Now, here's Judson Richards.
ESPN Radio presented by Progressive Insurance. Protect the stuff you love with Renters Insurance. Visit progressive.com. Thanks for joining us on ESPN Radio. Back to the Diamond in just a minute, but time now for our top sounds with Nick DeLuca.
Sports Center all night.
Oh, my goodness. Check it out on Sports Center tonight.
Today's top sound.
How good is that? Are you ready to take?
Number 4.
All right, Judson, start in Chicago. Cubs and Royals. Kyle Tucker taking off at the plate on the Cubs radio network.
The runner double steal and scoring on the play. Scoring on the play is Kyle Tucker. I thought it was ball 4, but it was only ball 3. The Cubs were running as if it was a full count. Stealing second is Seiya Suzuki. The throw went down to second, and when it did, Tucker scored from third. Cubs lead 6-0.
Number 3.
Phillies hosting the Red Sox, looking for a second straight win. Kyle Schwarber swinging for the fences against his old team on Sports Radio 94 WIP.
The lineup and the 3-1 pitch to Schwarber. Hit in the air, center field. Going back on it is Rafaela. He's at the track. He's looking up, and he's out of room. That one's gone. Number 33 on the year for Kyle Schwarber into the Phillies bullpen. And the Phillies now lead it 4-0.
Number 2.
Brewers in Seattle looking to make it a dozen. Pitchers duel into the 6th until Cal Raleigh was at it again on Seattle Sports 7:10 a.m.
Here comes the 2-2. Swung on. Blasted. Lift off right field. This one is going to go. It is out of here. Cal Raleigh, number 39 on the season. And he has given the Mariners the lead with one big swing.
Number 1.
And Judson, our top sound of the night from north of the border. Yankees looking to break through against the Blue Jays. Took an early lead, but Toronto battled back. Tied in the 9th, Ben Rice had the biggest swing of the night on the S Network.
It was Ben Rice against Hoffman. He was the final batter of yesterday's game. High fly ball, right field and deep. Luke is back on the track. See ya! A huge home run for Ben Rice as the Yankees take a 5-4 lead.
Nick, thank you. Nice job by you. Why don't we stick with baseball? Let's go to Arlington in Texas. Rangers and the A's, a 3-1 game, no longer.
Harris fires, and that ball is hit high and deep to right field. Thomas going back. He's at the wall, and it is gone. Into the Rangers bullpen. Corey Seager with a 3-run home run, and the Rangers now lead 6-1.
A big blast there in the 7th inning. Heard on 105.3 The Fan. The Rangers win 6-2 atop the Athletics. Guardians and the Orioles in Cleveland. 4-2 ball game in the 6th.
The pitch to Martinez, and he lines one into left. Another 2-out RBI hit. Heading home is Rocchio, and the Guardians lead it 5-2.
Game heard on WTAM 1100. The Guardians would add another. They would beat the O's with a final of 6-3. Diamondbacks hosting the Astros. Houston down a run until the 8th.
And Matthews hits it in the air and deep to left field. It sends back Gurriel looking up. See you later! A go-ahead 2-run homer for Bryce Matthews. And the Astros lead 2-1.
The call on KBME 790 AM. Matthews hit his third homer in 2 games. Stros rallied to beat the Diamondbacks with a 3-1 final there. Let's turn our attention back to the NFL now. The Las Vegas Raiders yesterday signed 3-time Pro Bowl safety Jamal Adams. The 29-year-old defensive back will reunite with Raiders coach Pete Carroll, whom he played under for 4 seasons, and with the Seattle Seahawks. Let's take a tour around some of the training camp sound we've enjoyed yesterday. Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel, he was already in midseason Patriots head coach form, answering this question.
How'd they do? How do you feel about how the guys came back?
I mean, whether you were in a coma when I answered Tom's question or typing on your phone or tweeting, I don't know, but I spent 5 minutes answering that question. And I can go back through it, but I'd rather not.
That was Mike Vrabel, already having a good time as the new Patriots head coach. Speaking of new head coaches, how about Ben Johnson, who addressed the media and talking about Caleb Williams and his quarterback and what he expects and setting goals for his sophomore quarterback?
I told him I would love for him on the season to complete 70% of his balls. So you would like to think over the course of practice that we're completing 70% or more. That's hard to just magically arise in a game. So it's a lofty goal, but it's one that we're going to strive for. And so because of that, we're going to use that as our benchmark and kind of work from there.
Speaking of setting lofty goals, the quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, he has attained a lot of them, Patrick Mahomes, but he was asked how much Super Bowl losses have motivated him all off season.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we didn't play the way we wanted to play and on a national stage, a worldwide stage, and you want to go out there and be better, and so that kind of helps you out on some of those extra workouts that you don't want to do, or some of the different stuff that in order to get better for that next season. It kind of keeps that in your mind. But now we're here. I mean, we're here. You can start over. How can I get better for my teammates? How can I get better for the guy beside me? And going out there and attacking so that we can find a way to win that last game and not lose it.
So that was Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes discussing what it's like to lose a Super Bowl. He's done plenty of winning, but they did lose to the Philadelphia Eagles in our last Super Bowl, and we'll see what they have in store for us this season. How about this note? I know that we discussed 45-year-old Rich Hill making a start for the Kansas City Royals in a loss to the Cubs on Tuesday. Tennis great Venus Williams became the second oldest woman to win a tour-level singles match in professional tennis, beating Peyton Stearns, 22 years her junior, by a 6-3, 6-4 score at the D.C. Open. That will do it for us. Thanks for joining us. This has been SportsCenter All Night. For our producer, Javon Cutler, our technical director is Stephen Risser. I'm Judson Richards. Unsportsmanlike with Evan Canty and Michelle is next. You're listening to ESPN Radio.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up on Wednesday, the ESPN Radio Rank 'em series rolls along. Who are the top 5 offenses in the NFL? The answers might surprise you. It's Unsportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
The Waddle and Sylvie audio experience.
What are those guys' names? Siegfried and Roy. One of them's gone. They both died. Are they both done? Yes, sir. That's another name or names. When you're younger, you always got it mixed up when you heard it. Siegfried and Roy? I thought there were 3 of them. I thought there was Sig. I thought there was Fried. And I thought there was Roy. I'm like, where's the third dude? Oh, I just got cramp. I got a laughing cramp.
If you missed something, get the podcast on the ESPN Chicago app.
Or listen live daily 2:30 to 6:30. ESPN Chicago.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Steinhaffel's 7th Chicagoland Superstore is now open at Maryville Plaza in Maryville, Indiana. For over 90 years, we've helped families create the homes of their dreams, and now we're proud to be part of yours. Steinhaffel's has all the top furniture and mattress brands, styles for every taste, prices for every budget. So come on in, discover the selection, the service, the savings. Discover the Steinhaffel's difference now in Maryville. Relax, it's Steinhaffel's.
I don't think anybody ever expects to hear that their child has cancer. It's always one of those things that happens to somebody else. But it definitely feels like your soul is sucked out of your body when they tell you that it's your baby. I knew that St. Jude was a children's hospital. I knew that no one ever received a bill from St. Jude, but I in no way understood how amazingly and completely they take care of their patients and their families. When we first got here, Hunter was in an incredible amount of pain, and St. Jude gave him the most superb care. Childhood cancer is devastating, but childhood cancer is beatable with St. Jude. To any of the donors, I would say bless you and thank you, because without the donors, St. Jude wouldn't be here.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
From the State Street Studio, this is WMVP WTBC HD2, Chicago.
A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Unsportsmanlike.
What does Jerry Jones, in your mind, value more, cap space or headlines?
I think both. It's his show. We're all part of the show. He loves putting on the show. He's one of the great marketers of all time. Like, he is the modern day PT Barnum, the NFL version of that. And he loves that. Now, I'm sure he loves cap space, but that's probably secondary to making sure the Cowboys are America's team, selling that franchise, being relevant, being topical, being in the headlines. I think he loves all that.
Okay, welcome to the show. We are Unsportsmanlike here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. Protect the stuff you love with Renters Insurance. Visit Progressive.com for more information. The voice there of Adam Schefter with us yesterday. The singing voice of the late, great Ozzy Osbourne passed away, unfortunately, yesterday. Malcolm Jamal Warner from Cosby Show. Ozzy Osbourne, back-to-back days, two legends in their own right. Sad passings back-to-back there. Great job by Jovante coming in with that. Along with NFL Live's Michelle Smallman. First Takes Chris Canty. I am Evan Cohen here on Unsportsmanlike.
We see you, big time. We see you, Smalls.
Well, you too, CC. You were one of my lead-ins yesterday. I watched.
Oh, one of my lead-ins. Wow. One of my.
She had the breaking news off the top with the Terry McLaurin holdout, throwing it to Adam Schefter. We see you, Smalls. We see you out here.
You guys, I can't even tell you what happened yesterday. First of all, I was so grateful for the opportunity. It was so fun. The crew here at NFL Live took such great care of me. But you know how different it is doing TV versus radio. To go a little inside baseball, it's a completely different skill set. Same content, different technical things you have to be aware of. So I had really worked through the cadence of what the first segment would look like. I felt really good about it. Like a minute before we go live, they get in my ear. They're like, "Hey, Michelle, breaking news, blow out everything we told you and just go with it." I was like, excuse me? Excuse me? But it worked out, and I had a great time. It was really fun. I didn't fall, and I didn't crash the bus, so I consider it a successful first NFL Live.
I'm a little disappointed in one thing.
That you didn't fall?
Well, no, not the fact that she didn't fall, because I don't want her to embarrass herself. I don't want her to embarrass the show, but, I mean, can you at least give us a couple of shout-outs in the show?
That is true.
Can you weave that in there?
I need
Unsportsmanlike?
I need to. So you may have heard, Cece, Adam Schefter mention your Cowboy saying.
Yeah, he did.
A day late and $1 more in regards to Jerry Jones and these contracts. And in my mind, as he was saying it, I was like, oh, I need to mention, like, as heard by Chris Canty on Unsportsmanlike.
Yeah.
But you
didn't.
But then Mike Tannenbaum talked, and then Damian talked, and then by the time it came back to me, we were on a different subject. So I just felt like it wasn't the right time. But I am filling in again in August, and there will be guaranteed an Unsportsmanlike mention.
Evan, we're a week away from New Phone Who Dis.
Oh, yeah. So,
we're a
no
week
way.
away from that with Smalls. New Phone Who Dis.
Really?
I have a question,
First takes
though.
Evan Cohen and First Take and Get Up, and everything else is Chris Canty. I just had to do my part because you two have been filling in on all of the big shows. So I'm just glad that
Yeah,
I
but
got
I
a
mention
turn.
Unsportsmanlike every time.
Every single time we mention Unsportsmanlike.
I'm the best ever at that.
I was
will say.
on with Shefty yesterday on First Take, and he said, yeah, Chris, you and I were talking this morning. P.T. Barnum thing, that's when it came up.
Now, to be fair, see, I watch all of your stuff and all of your stuff.
What's up?
Both of you had a little, so there were some glitches. One, Schefter unknowingly stole your take, and you unknowingly stole my take.
Well, it wasn't a take, it was a question.
Yeah.
It was a question.
And Smalls knowingly never mentioned any of us.
Well, here's the thing.
But you did mention Unsportsmanlike.
Anything that originates from us in terms of questions, ideas, from the original show unit of Unsportsmanlike, that's
Right.
intellectual property that we all then can use.
Okay, so we can use it.
claim it as our own.
All right.
Yeah.
That's good after the fact.
I would say that. Whatever I say, you guys could use. I don't
Yeah,
care.
exactly.
Well, you didn't say anything about the show. So
You
what
didn't
are we
even
gonna
say
use?
anything about the show, Smalls.
So what
That's
can
the
we
part that
use?
we have an issue with.
You guys, imagine 1 minute before you're doing your first television show ever, there's breaking news and everything gets wiped out. I kind of blacked out. So I'm sorry. I apologize.
First
I will be
television
better
show
next
ever.
time. I
Like
will
we're
be
not
better
on
next time.
TV every single
Well,
day.
I understand what she's
No, like a
saying. It
technical
is a lot different because, to be fair, what we had planned right now is not what we're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
We have the freedom to just kind of veer off. When she's doing NFL Live, she doesn't have the freedom to be like, let me tell you, like the cafeteria had this great turkey sandwich. like 2 seconds before the show yesterday, we come on the air and CeCe talks about how he's mad that he's going to the French Riviera, and then it became a huge theme during the show. So I understand what you're saying. You did a great job. Now you just dropped something else that I was not aware of. So you got asked back.
Yes.
How many times?
Once. August 21st, I believe, which is great. I'm very excited because, as you guys know, doing something once, you feel much better about it. You do it twice, you feel much better about it. So I'm very excited to get another opportunity and hopefully be that much better next time.
Well, congratulations
Thank you.
to one Michelle Smallman.
You know how close we are to being a footnote in the Michelle Smallman resume?
Do we wanna be?
Once upon a time, I did a morning show on ESPN Radio. I
Yeah.
forget the name of the show, and there were these guys that were there.
100%.
One of the dudes played football for a while in the NFL.
And the other was Chris Canty.
It's so funny that you two say that. As
It's
you guys
coming.
have been
I
crushing
just
First
want you to be
Take and
prepared
Get
for
Up
this,
and everything.
Let me ask,
prepare for it.
Let
It's
me ask you a
coming.
question. Smalls, you cannot participate in this part of it.
Oh, okay,
Cece,
great.
Did you see Good Will Hunting?
Yes.
You know how Ben Affleck kept saying to Matt Damon his dream was one day to knock on the door when he picked him up for work and him to not be there because he did something huge with himself?
Yes.
Are we hoping, are we the Ben Affleck?
Are you trying to
her
get
Matt
Good Will
Damon?
Hunting?
Listen, I'm always about progression, about advancing.
But then
about
she'd be leaving
evolving.
us.
And that's fine. I just want her to shout us out. I just
Yeah,
want her to
good
have an
point.
association with
Good
us.
point,
That's
yes.
all I'm saying.
Good point.
Don't see me in the street and act like you don't know me.
Oh, please.
That's
You're
a good
stuck with
point.
me. I'm not
Very
going
good point.
anywhere.
I mean, there's another opportunity, Michelle,
For what?
for you to shout out the show.
Oh, today.
I
Vibe check.
promise I will do it today on Vibe Check.
Don't do that. Don't say you promise.
Why?
You better.
Because if there's no obvious spot to work it in, you can't just work it in that way.
No, she promised.
I will. You know what?
Oh, God.
I know
Don't
what we're
overpromise and underdeliver.
I know
Don't do
what we're
it.
talking about today, and there is a spot. There's a spot, and I will make it happen. Now, listen, that show is not live. We are taping it, so they may edit it. It may hit the cutting room floor. I can't.
excuses
I
already.
can't guarantee, but I will work it in.
Evco, I'm just waiting for the moment where we're both back in Bristol and we see Smallman. We go up to say hello to her, and security steps in front of us.
Stop.
Who are you guys?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I know you're from where?
You're getting too close to Miss Smallman.
Yeah.
No chance. But I do appreciate your support. You guys were so wonderful in hyping me up because you knew I was very nervous. So I appreciate it. Even though Evan did want to see me fall on NFL Live, I tuned into the show yesterday. I know you were praying for me to fall because it would be great for us.
You
to
were
make money.
literally rooting for her downfall.
Well, she did.
Not figuratively.
Yeah.
You wanted her to have a great show, but you
Well,
were literally rooting for her to fall.
As the great MGK says, I had tickets to her downfall yesterday. All right. So I don't know if this is a downfall or this is just what they are. Let's rewind 48 hours. Let's just set you up here with what Jerry Jones, the owner/general manager of the Dallas Cowboys, had to say about Micah Parsons and Dak Prescott, because Micah responded yesterday. But let's hear first what Micah was actually responding to from Jerry.
Just because we sign him doesn't mean we're going to have him. He was hurt 6 games last year. Seriously. We've signed, I remember signing a player for the highest paid at the position in the league, and he got knocked out 2/3 of the year, Dak Prescott. So there's a lot of things you can think about when you, just as the player does, when you're thinking about committing and guaranteeing money.
Okay, so that's what Jerry said. Micah Parsons, as CC has pointed out, to his credit, is showing up and being a professional while this is all going on when he doesn't have a long-term deal and he's still on his rookie contract. Here's what Micah Parsons had to say about the potential end with his time in Dallas.
You know, for me, it really don't matter. Like I said, I've been pretty consistent. If they don't want me here, they don't want me here. I go about my business. I understand the nature of the business. As long as I'm here and under contract, I'm going to do what I have to do to perform at the highest level. But if this is then, this is then. You know, there's same way that Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones and the other Jerry Jones take care of their family, it's the same way I need to take care of my family. You know what I mean? I got my own 3 kids of my own, so we all need to take care of our own family at the end of the day.
If this is the end, this is the end. Training camp has started. They're in Oxnard, California. They arrive the last couple of days, and they don't leave till the season's over now in terms of the group of the 53-man roster, the coaching staff, et cetera. They're in. CeCe, you've been in 11 of these versions of this. Why do you want your best player talking about if this is the end as it's starting? Not in March, but as it's starting. What are we doing here?
Well, it feels like this is posturing by Micah as well as Jerry Jones, right? They're doing this dance. We know how negotiations go. By nature, it's adversarial, but ultimately the two sides are going to come together because there just isn't a viable alternative pathway to the Dallas Cowboys being able to find a solution to the issue of Parsons' current contract. So I can't see a world where the Dallas Cowboys move on from Micah Parsons. That's why I believe that this contract is going to get done before the start of the regular season. Now, it's anyone's guess when that is. I would assume, based on how negotiations have gone with other core players for the Cowboys, that it's going to happen in the 11th hour. But there's no world that exists in my mind where Micah Parsons is not a member of the Dallas Cowboys in 2025 and where he's not playing under a new contract.
Yeah, this is going to get done for several reasons. Number one, you don't want him to not be on the field for you. He's been incredibly productive, and that's an understatement. He's top 2 in the NFL last season alone in pressure percentage, success rate on the pass rush, and in multi-sack games. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler. He is an anchor for your football team. You don't move on from production like that, and especially if you're Jerry Jones, you don't move on from a star like that. And this is chapter and verse of what happens with the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones in these negotiations. Like, I don't know why they want to do all this posturing. I don't know why Jerry wants all this drama. Yes, he's in the headlines. Yes, we're talking about him. But just like Dak and just like CeeDee Lamb and just like Zach Martin, it's going to get done. And I almost feel like we are being played by him yet again because he's getting exactly what he wants, and us having this fever pitch and this sense of urgency to talk about Micah, to talk about them, to talk about this deal and what life might be like for them without him, when inevitably we're going to see Micah Parsons sign a big deal. He's going to be the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL, and he's going to be a member of the Dallas Cowboys for years to come.
They are playing us. That's what you just said, I believe, right? You believe that they are all playing us. I want to revisit that.
Jerry Jones.
We have to revisit that, and there's more from Micah coming up after CeCe has this, along with NFL Live's Michelle Smallman, of course, from Grainger.
As you know, managing maintenance, repair, and operations is never easy. But for the ones who always rise to the challenge, Grainger has your back. From professional-grade products you can count on to fast, dependable delivery, they're there to help you keep things running smoothly. Plus, their technical product specialists are here to help answer your toughest questions. And because Grainger knows safety is always a priority, they're committed to being your partner in protecting both your people and your facilities. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The NFL on ESPN Radio.
I think Tampa Bay doesn't get enough credit. It's actually a contender for the Super Bowl.
Camp to camp, team to team.
That kid's amazing. There is no way.
43 days until opening night. The countdown continues on ESPN Radio.
Cap and J Hood.
It's so good to have you guys a part of my life. And when I tune in every day, even though I don't call in as much as I should, I keep it locked in all the time up here in the snow.
I appreciate you, Curtis. Thank you so much for listening.
This radio station is by far the best radio station.
Get Cap and J Hood podcasts on demand in the ESPN Chicago app, or listen weekdays 7 to 10 on ESPN 1000 and 100.3 HD2.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
It's a Bears town. We worship great defense. We appreciate frigid temperatures when our 11 are battling their 11 on the lakefront in January. We love a helmet with a chunk of fresh turf lodged in it. This is a Bears town. And we are the new home of the Bears. ESPN Chicago.